and the wolves. Razor was starting to wonder if he could make it home alive. Uncle Ted had taken a nasty spill down the gully as the pair hiked out of Anderson Pass. The fall smashed Uncle Ted's cell phones to bits, and the battery in Razor's phone was dead. Razor's GPS, he never left home without it, was still working, but a lot good it did. Finding a way out wasn't a problem. Moving Uncle Ted was. The fall snuck Razor's uncle unconscious. His head has a huge bloody gash and a bump the size of an egg. His leg was probably broken. To make matters worse, Razor saw that skies were darkening around the West Fork Glacier. It was going to be a long, cold night. Yep, Razor thought, I'm in trouble. Razor was supposed to have been back in town hours ago, fixing up the old motorbike he and Jake had around a week earlier. He had been lying in the dirt 40 paces of a valley stream, rode in a ticket full of mud, brush, and worms. The tires were both flat, the body rusted. A family of beetles had burrowed into the motor. Wow, Razor said. This thing is a hunk of junk. Yeah, but look, Jake said, pointing to the name guard on the gas tank. It's an Indian motorbike. It's a classic. We can fix her up and get her running. 2 hours later, the boys have lifted up the old Indian, into the back of Uncle Ted's pickup. Jake had wanted to start working on the bike right away, but Razor and his uncle were leaving to go backpacking near Denali that afternoon. Denali was also known as Mount McGlenny, was the highest peak in North America. The motorcycle would have to wait until Razor got back in 3 days. Where's that slacker? Jake asked, frustrated. His golden retriever, Molly, was the only one in the garage. He's late. Razor's never late. Molly yawned and rolled over. She covered her eyes with big brown paws and drifted up to sleep. 1 hour later turned to 2 hours. 2:25. Jake knew something was wrong. He phoned Razor and just got his voice email. He tried Uncle Ted's cell. That didn't work either. Jake tried to keep himself busy. He carefully cleaned the mud and dirt from inside the Indian cylinders, and he drained whatever oil was from the crankcase. As he worked, Jake listened to his dad's old radio, which is tucked on a shelf near some rusty paint cans. When the news came on, Jake heard that a storm with high winds and snow were barreling in. The weather in this part of Alaska is unpredictable in April. Jake thought for a moment. Come on, Molly, let's call Callahan. Jake and Molly raced to the house. When Jake dialed, Vince Callahan, a search and rescue. Don't worry, Jake, Callahan said. We're only 5 hours late. They're only 5 hours late. If they're not back by the time the storm blows through, we'll head up there. As Callahan talked, Jake could hear the alarm go off in search and rescue center. I gotta go, Jake, Callahan said hurriedly. A tower bus just overturned on the park road. Dozens of people are injured. You have to get there fast. Who about Razor? Jake asked. Don't worry, son. We'll be up there soon enough. Right now, I have to go. Jake come up. He looked at the window and saw a side darkened to menacing gray. Jake couldn't wait for Callahan. We have to find Razor's own. But how? Hank Brody, with his big mustache, stood 2 inches taller than 6 feet and looked down at Jake with a glare that the body slightly looked with disdain. Jake had rapped hard on the door of Hank's cabin moments before, startling Hank away. When he was intruding but didn't care. Razor need help. Who are you? Jack Winslow, sir. I know you. You're a kid with a noisy ATV. Barry Winslow's kid. What do you want? Hank grimaced at the sight of Jake. Hank Brody didn't get many visitors, just an occasional tourist looking for a fishing guide. My dad says you're a pilot. Jake began. Might be. Hank fired back. He says you flew planes during Gulf War. What if I did? I need someone to help my friend. Raisin and his uncle went hiking up near Denali, but they haven't come back. I think something bad happened. A storm is going to blow in. Jake, standing in the doorway, lands a frightening sky. What business is it of mine? Hank interrupted. Call search and rescue if your friend is missing. I did. They're busy with a bus crash, then can't spare the planes to fly up there. Mr. Brody, I need a pilot to help my friend. I need your help. Where's your father? Hank asked. In Fairbanks. He'll be back day after tomorrow. And you want me to fly out onto a storm to his friend of yours, Beaver? Razor. His name's Razor. How do you know he's lost? He was supposed to be back early this morning. We're going to fix up an old Indian motorcycle we found. Razor's never late. Plus, I can't get him or his uncle on their cell phones. Something's wrong, I know it. Jake was nearly in tears, so he tried not to show it. Listen, kid, you're a good friend, but go find someone else. I don't do rescue missions anymore. I only fly paying customers. Oh, I can pay you, blurted Jack. Yeah, Indian motorcycle will be worth some money once we fix it up. I'll give it to you, you help me. Hank chuckled to himself. It'll take a lot more than an old motorcycle to convince me to fly into a storm with this one. He said, waving some to an ugly line of clouds rolling in. You understand that I'm risking my flame my neck up there? You got me. Help me, Mr. Brody, Jake screamed. You're my only pilot around. I don't gotta do anything. Hank fired back. I get to pay the people to the fish, not to go looking for strays in storm. Look, my dad said you lost your best friend in the war, Jake says with cracking. Now my best friend is in trouble and I have to find some help before it's too late. What will you do if you're in my shoes? Hank fell silent. He immersed some hash words on his breath, whispering out, "It's his blackmail." Jake gave him the saddest look he could muster. Hank told, all right, kid, I'll go and take a look. But we better hurry. The storm's rolling fast. We? Asked Jack. Yes, we. Barked Hank. I'm gonna need a spotter. You must volunteer for a job. He says he jabbed a pair of binoculars and a leather case hard into Jake's chest. The wind blew stronger. The temperature dipped. The snow started falling. Razor didn't have time to think what fix he was in. If he did, he might start to cry. Instead, he busied himself tending the injured uncle. Still, he knew how to make a fire using twigs. He knew which plants were okay to eat, and he knew how to ration water. He also knew how to bandage cuts. That still proved very handy. He had stopped the bleeding from gash in his uncle's head. A fire was without question, though. There were giant trees and logs to burn in Anderson Pass. Razor had a portable stove for heating food, but it wasn't powerful enough to heat a tent. He would gladly have traded for an armful of seasoned pine some kindling. In an hour or two, Alaska's frozen wind would really start to howl. Razor was already beginning to feel the sting of the wind driving snow pelting his face. Eventually, he had to drag his uncle inside the tent, but Uncle Sad's leg was bent in a natural position. The pain jolted his uncle awake occasionally, causing him to cry out. The only thing working in the field was the daylight. It never got too dark at night in April. That means rescue planes could fly longer, except no one's no ski here, Razor whispered to himself. Razor heard a piercing howl in the distance. Almost immediately, he heard an answering howl, much closer. He was hands over his eyes to shield them from flying snow. He looked around. He saw Mudrow Glacier. It was surrounded in a blanket of low, pale clouds. But he heard the howl again. Razor knew what it means. Hank knew his way around the controls of the plane, but it took all his attention to steer the craft. As the sharply gusting winds slapped it from side to side. Listen, kid, Hank said to Jake. We're almost there. I'm going to bring her down as low as she can go. Your job is to keep a sharp lookout for your friend. I'm going to be busy trying to keep this crate of mine from hitting any cliffs. Blaine descended. The driving snow and low clouds made it tough for Hank to see. The crosswind shook the plane like baby rattles. The storm had grown worse. The sounds Razor had heard before they were closer. They were the house of wolves. The animals were hungry, and they smelled blood in the air. Razor gripped Uncle Ted under the arms and dragged him into the tent. The boy tried to block out his uncle's scream, but couldn't. Each dog brought more pain. When it became too much, Uncle Ted passed out. Razor stood guard on Ted, shivering, scared and alone. He wished he had a weapon, any weapon. Razor looked around something to defend himself with. All he could find was a graphite hiking pole. Heck, Razor thought, I could scare Molly with that. The wolves inched closer with their heads held low to the ground. Razor could hear their snares. Wolves near the back of the pack raced back and forth, licking their steamy jaws in hungry anticipation. Razor stood guarding with his back against the boulder. The icy wind bit through his layers of clothes. Razor buried his face in his robe hands and shivered. He gripped the hiking pole in both hands like a spear. Listen, Brody, you need to turn back. Callahan's angry voice was coming loud and clear on Hank's radio. You're not professional. We'll mount a search when the storm clears. I don't want my crew to scrape that plane and that boy got off inside the cliff. However, I read you, Hank said, but no can do. I'm too deep to turn back now. By the time you guys get over here, Razor and Uncle might be dead. It's freezing and it's grizzly territory over. Hank was now on the hunt. He no longer just an occasional fishing guy. He had a mission to accomplish, just as he'd done countless times during the war. Roddy, Callahan fired up. I don't have time to argue. I'll get my planes and helicopters in the air as soon as I can. In the meantime, I hope you know what we're doing. We don't need another crash today. Roger that, Callahan, Hank said, over there and out. The storm was easing. Hank tipped the plane closer to the ground. Jake kept watch. He looked for a tent, a smoke signal, some sign that Razor was down there. Game over. Razor mumbled to himself. He was starting to panic. The wolves were only about 30 yards away. There were 4 of them, studying Razor and sneering. The wolves didn't win and they stopped. And Uncle Ted was waking up in the tent. Razor could hear some muffled moans. One wolf howled, causing the hair on Razor's head to stand on end. Think, Razor, think. The boy looked around. He spotted the portable stove near the tent. For some reason, he thought an old Frankenstein movie he had seen on TV with Jake. Razor backed up slowly, moving carefully toward the stove. His eyes never left the wolves. When he reached the stove, he turned the knob on the propane canister to the open position. He hit the igniter. Click! Come on, catch! He hit the igniter again and the stove lit. A burst of blue-red flame danced around the burner. The wolves hesitated for a moment before edging toward him again. Where's that t-shirt? Out of his pack. He whipped the shirt tightly around top of a hiking pole and stuck the tip of the pole into a hot flame. Frankenstein monster was afraid of fire. Maybe these wolves could be too, Razor thought. The shirt began to molder. A tiny flame slowly spread into a crackling blaze. The wolves charged. It's not looking good, kid. We've been up here a long time, and our fuel is getting low. We're gonna have to turn back. Aunt Brody didn't like to give up. Just a little longer, Jake implored. A slender column of billowing smoke caught Jake's attention. Jake blinked and looked again. Over there, he shouted, pointing to his right. Hank looked where Jake was pointing and edged the flame close to the ground. Suddenly, Jake saw Razor stand from the pack of wolves, waving a flaming hiking pole in their snouts. The animal froze as Razor violently slashed the air with his impulse torch. Hank gunned the throttle and swooped toward Razor's campsite. The plane flew so low that Razor had to dive with cover as his wheels threw it past his head. Hank circled around and buzzed the wolves again, scattering the pack. Hank chased the animals until they were well out of sight. With the wolves no longer a threat, Hank radioed Callahan. "How's your uncle doing?" Jake asked Razor when two finally found each other at emergency clinic. The dog said we should be fine, although his legs busted up pretty good. "What were you doing out there with a torch?" Jake's smiling, swatting skeeters. "Those aren't skeeters, that's for sure. Those wolves thought I had a juicy chicken fried steak tied around my neck." Just then Hank Brody walked in and shook Razor's hand. "You did good out there, kid. You saved your uncle's life. Thanks for finding us, Mr. Brody." "Don't mention it. Your pal here, Jake, deserves the credit. It was his idea." The room fell silent. "So?" Jake continued. "About payment. Don't you worry, Mr. Brody," said Jake. "A deal is a deal. We'll draw up that Indian motorcycle just as soon as we get it up and running." "We will?" answered his dad in surprise until Jake shot into an Ellen's ribs. "Oh, I mean, yes, that's right, sir. Actually, boys, there's something else in my mind. I've got an old garage full set of tools out of my place. Why don't you bring the bike of yours over and work on here? I've got some spare parts. Come in handy if you don't mind screwing around a bit. I might even give you a hand if you were stuck on something. That way I can keep an eye on you too, so I won't have to fly rescue missions all the time." "Deal," said Jake. "Yeah," laughed Razor. "Bye."